Hello again. It's been a long time since I've posted anything on this channel, and I've had a lot of reasons why, and that's what this video is about. It's taken a lot for me to just turn the camera on and just hit record. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm an extreme introvert, and the last time I posted was pre-pandemic, and I found out that for me, that time was mixed emotions for me. At first, I appreciated the fact that I could be at home and just indulge with just myself and my husband Pete without feeling the obligation to have to socialize all the time. But after a while, I started to notice that I started to feel a little bit too comfortable being home alone. When I knew that wasn't a good thing, I could feel as if I was becoming even more, if possible, socially awkward. And I haven't posted for the lack of trying, because I have recorded many videos since the last time I posted on here that just were never released. So now I am both excited and extremely nervous to be back on here. Now, having a YouTube channel is something that I've wanted to do for quite a while, but it has been a huge, and I do mean a huge struggle for me. But the reason why I'm starting this back up again and trying to hold myself accountable to posting more frequently and more consistently is I don't want to have to look back and wonder what if. I don't want any regrets, so I told myself this is something I have to do. Okay, so it's time for a little bit of transparency and a bit about my backstory. You may not know it, but I've always been a bit of an introvert. And if that wasn't enough, throw being shy into the mix. Introversion has always been a struggle for me, and growing up as a gangly teenager didn't help at all. My heart would race, my palms would sweat whenever I came around new people. And it still does, just not as bad. I always found that trying to make friends was always like trying to crack a secret code. After years of struggling, I decided to do something about how I felt in interactions if I was going to succeed and make it in the world. That's when I created an alter ego that would allow me to be more comfortable in social gatherings and meeting new people. And that's when I created Star. And yes, Star with 2 R's because 1 R just wasn't enough to capture that sparkle that I was going for. Star was my secret weapon. She was the confident, outgoing person that I wanted to be. And I would just tap into her every time I needed that little extra boost when I was interacting with people I didn't know. Tapping into Star was like me putting on that superhero cape, and suddenly I could talk to anybody and interact with anyone without a problem. Star was everything that I thought I wasn't. Outgoing, charismatic, the kind of person that could strike up a conversation with anyone at any time about anything. She helped me to break down those barriers and break down those walls, and actually allowed me to make true, genuine connections. It was a huge game changer for me. Surprisingly, people responded to Star, to me, in ways that I never expected. It was like having a backstage pass to new friendships, new connections that I couldn't have ever imagined. Star really boosted my confidence enough that it allowed me to later get into modeling. But I remember being able to strut down those catwalks, pose in pictures for catalogs and posters, dealing with all those introverted feelings that I was struggling with, but to just push them to the side and do what I was actually enjoying and was pretty good at. And I know you're probably thinking, really? An introverted model? But yes, it was possible. Because Star allowed me to squash those introverted fears and struggles, I was able to go to auditions and jobs with an appearance of confidence, even though inside I was struggling big time. For me, doing this channel is an extreme struggle for me. Even though I struggled back in the day, doing catalogs and posters, it was different for me. When you're being photographed with a still camera, you're just capturing a moment in time. It's frozen. Whereas with video, like what I'm doing here with YouTube, it's about creating multiple moments in time where you're engaging and creating interest in stories for a long period of time. It's not just one frozen moment and then you move on. And for me, I have to admit right now, this is very intimidating for me and is bringing up a lot of anxiety within me. Okay, now, so let's talk about how this pandemic turned the photography industry upside down. And it was a game changer, let me tell you. Suddenly, everything we knew about connecting with clients had gone out of the window. Editing Suad here. So apparently the audio did not record well for my previous recordings. I had to re-record the whole last ending of this video. So that's what you'll be watching now. For an introverted photographer like myself, it was even more of a challenge, if you can imagine. And I would be lying to myself if I didn't admit that I enjoyed being at home. I mean, really enjoyed being at home by myself at first. The pandemic made my introversion feel more intense than ever before. The isolation and the social distancing just amplified those desires for those quiet moments by myself, pushing me deeper into that little cozy cocoon. This forced me to really reflect on myself and my business. With all that extra time on my hands, I really had a deep heart-to-heart with myself, and it was not pretty. I'm just really glad that I had Pete with me. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have handled it by myself. So while I was stuck at home, I decided to really work on my business, work on the admin workflows, the behind the scenes stuff, my shooting and editing style, everything that I could do just to make myself and my business that much better. I revamped my client management system, streamlined my processes, and even found some new softwares and tools just to make me work a little more efficiently. I have to say, now it feels pretty good that I know that with all that work that I did, that I can now offer my clients a more seamless experience from start to finish. But that's not all. I also use the time to develop more skills and up my photography game. With courses, workshops, and webinars just a click away, I went all in, from mastering my light skills even more to fine-tuning my editing style, as well as kind of honing in my shooting style as well. I expanded my whole repertoire. And on a personal note, I did find a new love for gardening that I had just completely immersed myself into. I've even started looking into a small little homestead, possibly getting some chickens, just something that will help Pete and I to be a little more self-sufficient. And it has been so groundbreaking, literally and figuratively. It has completely empowered me and given me a whole new sense and appreciation for life. For me at the time, it was something that I could hold on to while navigating all the different changes for my work during the pandemic, especially when it came to interacting with clients. As for me, as an introverted photographer, having to shift to doing virtual meetings pushed me out of my comfort zone. Again, I had to interact with people, clients and colleagues, over the internet on Zoom. And for me, even though I'm an introvert, I do better interacting with people one-on-one than I do over video or Zoom. And I think that's just because when I'm speaking with someone one-on-one, as nervous as I may be, I'm able to feed off their body language, have a personal energy that's being exchanged back and forth that makes it easier for me to communicate. Whereas with Zoom, you're stuck into this screen and that's all you see, and there isn't any physical connection as far as being in person one-on-one, if that makes sense. So being on Zoom really forced me to get out of my comfort zone and really up my game. And so mentally I had to draw on an old friend, Star. And I found that channeling Star again helped me in those situations just to kind of connect a little bit deeper than I would have. I'm saying all this and providing a little bit of my backstory because I have been on an unexpected journey these past few years. Despite all the loss and isolation, the bright side is that it forced me to be here today, doing what I'm doing right now. It made me realize that I really needed to step out of my comfort zone and just do the dang thing, as they say. And I hate that expression. Why do I even say that? But it really forced me to do it scared and unsure and doubtful and anxious, but I knew I had to do it. I didn't want there to be a time where I would have regrets or wonder what if. So I knew I had to just suck it up and just get out of my own way, get out of my head, and just karate chop fear in the neck, and then just jump back into doing videos. So, what's the grand plan? Let's just say we're about to jump into everything photography. But with all my transparency and vulnerabilities, because in all honesty, being an introverted photographer has its challenges. So I'll be doing tutorials, but not in a way that is the usual format. It'll be more like having coffee with a friend and having a personal one-on-one chat. It's like you and I are having a conversation and just talking about the things of photography and learning together. I plan on letting you in on all the behind the scenes of what it feels like to be an introverted photographer, from getting ready for a shoot, doing my editing, talking to clients, networking, also while sharing tips and techniques of the photography industry that I wish I had known starting out. Plus, I think I'm going to mix in a little bit day to day of my life as an introverted photographer, just to keep things a little interesting. But all that to say, this isn't just about me. This is where you come in. I've got loads of ideas that I want to share with you that I think you'll love. Just let me know what you're eager to learn from me, what mysteries of the photography world that you want to explore together, as well as a not so glamorous life you're curious about. So just leave your comments down below and I'll do my best to answer all your questions and fulfill your requests. It's my desire that the time that we have together here, that it's a safe place that we can all create without fear and lift each other up. So I'm pumped. Yeah. To start this chapter with you. Not because this is just for me, but it's for us, sharing this journey with a lens in hand and ready to conquer the photography world. So what do you think? You want to join me on this ride? Just leave some thoughts below and just start the conversation. Let's kick this thing off and see where this journey takes us. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.